I'm here at the National Association of Music Merchants to review the DJI Mic System. So you probably got interested in the DJI Mic System because of the sexy case, and yes, it is very sexy. The question is there anything of value on the inside? Happy to report there is a lot. In fact, I think I'm in love. Now, one of the great things about the DJI mic is that there's two transmitters, so you can record something different to the left and right channels. Now, right now, I'm just doing mono recording because I've had some trouble with my other recorder, and I've had to send it back to DJI, and I'll talk about that at the end of the video when I ream on DJI for their crappy technical support. Now, if you're just using one transceiver, you can bring it into mono, and you can also set a safety track. So you can set one at, let's say, 6 dB lower, and that way, if I get too loud in the scene, then I'll be able to fix that by just picking the other audio file that's also recorded. Because it's a touch screen, and I can just simply swipe up here, and I've got some other options, including muting it or formatting the card or whatever, which you got to be careful of, so I try not to touch it at all when I don't want it muted or anything like that. But when I'm in this mode here, I can see the little red dot, and that tells me that I'm actually recording my backup as well. And of course, I can see on my A7S III that I'm recording, and that's awesome too. If I swipe down, I also get some other options, including I can make it mono mix, I can do the safety channel we're talking about, I can set the receiver's gain, and that's very important to me because I like to have this receiver up high. It's the receiver gain, the headphone volume. I've also got the transmitter settings, and I've got a low-cut filter. Well, when I saw the menus on another YouTube channel, they look kind of complicated to me, but once you actually hold it in your hands and move it around, you get used to it very easy. I am super pleased with the menu system and the touchscreen on the receiver. The other thing I really appreciate about this mic is that it has taptic feedback. So when you press the record button, it vibrates a little to let you know, hey, I got you. And same thing with the power on and the power off. Those little things mean a lot to me when I'm shooting because, you know, we're thinking about a lot. We're thinking about the background, the composition, variety of other things. The last one thing we want to think about is, oh, is this thing on or is it not? I really appreciate having these lights to tell me what's going on. You can dim them in the receiver, and you know, on the transmitter itself, there's not much to it. You can record it. I can turn that off. Now I don't have a backup recording anymore. There is a sync button, and this actually, because it's a steady light, tells me that it is in sync, and I can actually look on the top of the camera and see that I'm actually recording there as well. Another thing I really enjoy is this little magnet here that it has. This magnet is really, really strong, and you can see how this magnet is hard actually to get off and holds really, really strong. And I also like that it has a USB-C port that can go directly into my computer and that I don't need a third-party app or anything like that to bring it into my computer. I can plug it in and it sees this as a hard drive, and I can just pull the files right off and start working with it. The benefit of this wireless system having internal recording is that I can use it just as an internal recorder by itself. I have it laved here, but I can switch back and forth between the really nice microphone that I have on top of the camera and the lav mic here. And so when I'm quiet, I can switch it over to the other and get a little better sound. Now I'm going to try something completely different. I'm going to try using this system on my phone. The receiver has a lightning connector and also a USB-C, so you can actually stick it right into your phone and use the phone, and you'll get the audio straight into it. A lot of versatility. I can use it for my iPhone, I can use it for a dedicated camera, and I can record it directly in if I want to. All of those are the options that I have under this DJI system. So a question you might have is, how does this compare to the Rode Wireless Go 2? And I would say it doesn't compare at all. And that's not good for Rode, by the way. The problem is the screen on this thing is not a touch screen. You have to hook it up to your computer and use Rode Connect in order to get your audio off of it. You can't set anything up without a computer. The list goes on and on. It's just kind of a real pain in the butt to use. Now, can you get good results from this? Absolutely you can. You just have to learn its quirks. Is the DJI Mic System better? Yes, absolutely, in pretty much every single way. But that doesn't mean that this is bad. It just means that the DJI system is better. Now, what are your other options? Well, when I came here today, I found out that, well, Mackie has made a wireless system. Let's go check that one out. So Mackie has the EM Wave system, and the problem is that there is no touch screen. Well, actually, there's no screen at all, and there's no backup, and there's only one transmitter. Now, when I was talking to the guys at Mackie, they did let it slip that maybe some new things were coming. Does it do any recording internally?
Not this model.
But you have another model coming?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I can't divulge that type of information.
Fair enough. But this is out now.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. And now for the cons. Technical support. I updated the firmware, and somewhere during the firmware process, one of my transmitters just sort of lost it. And there's nothing I can do to fix that. So I contacted DJI, and DJI is known for their great support. I was actually able to speak to a human being, and when I did that, they told me that, oh, the DJI mic, oh, you can't speak to a human being. It took 6 days until they finally gave me the address of where I could send it. Now, it's gone. DJI is gonna have it, and I don't know when I'm ever gonna see that transmitter again. DJI, I'd like to be able to speak to a person who could help me with my product when I call. Is that too much to ask? Okay, apparently that's too much to ask. So let's move on to my final thoughts. It is easy to use. It's a very, very robust and fantastic system. Now, it costs $320. You can find things that will do the same job for less. And not only will it do the same job, but it will sound as good. No one watching your video is going to say, oh, well, that wasn't done with the DJI mic. The DJI mic would have been much better. You don't see it on that end. Where you see it is in the ease of use and all the things that you do and all the frustrations that you have to go through that no one else sees. Well, I love the DJI system, but I also enjoy putting a lav mic in it so that I can hide it under my clothes. I've hidden it here with a little product that I got from B&H. It's made by a company called Bubblebee, and it allows you to just clip it on so I don't have to tape it on or do anything like that. I can just clip it on my undershirt and throw the transmitter in my pocket, and I'm good to go. And I'll put a link in the description for that. Now the microphone, I also put a link in the description, but I also did an entire video on that, explaining the difference between that microphone and how well it works with this DJI system, and you can click on that as well. Hey, thanks for listening, and hopefully if you'd subscribe, that'd be awesome. If you can't do that, then hit the like button. If you can't do that, well, then I guess you're just not able to get to the screen with your fingers, and I'm sorry about that. That must be difficult, so, okay.
And did it my